Hello, welcome to another episode of Off the Pitch. I'm Killen, your host, and today, welcome back, Pierce. It's been quite a few
Hi.
weeks. Probably last time we saw you was Premier League title when Arsenal bottled it. So much so,
Panic time.
what you bottled off the pitch?
You boys ran me off, yeah. Yeah, I had to have a break.
No,
after that.
Couldn't hack it. Couldn't face up to it.
glad to have you back. And obviously, the Euros have kicked off. Round one's been done and dusted. Probably going
Amazing.
to start off with the England's first game. George, what did you think make of it?
I thought first half an hour we were fantastic. We got on the ball, we controlled it. Jude was he was sublime. Thought Saka started off playing well, and he was looking good. And then we scored. We're good for another 10 minutes and just completely took our foot off the gas, and just invited on needless pressure. I thought we had control of that game. We should have been pushing on for a second, third, kept it going. But it's classic England, isn't it? Classic England under Southgate. We seem to score and then suddenly just turn into this uber defensive team that look nervous on the ball. And I mean, it's mixture, right? I mean, obviously, it's the first game. 3 points is all that really matters. But if we do that like we've done in the past against a good team, we'll just lose. It's happened time and time again. So I thought some of the subs were terrible. Foden, I thought, was invisible. I'm not sure about Trent in midfield. Down the left, we just lacked anything with Trippier. I don't know. It was mixed messages, I think, personally.
But to be fair, 3 points in the bag. And I think in the last 5 tournaments, we haven't won our first game. So,
Is that true? I
yeah.
swear
Southgate's won all of his.
2018 World Cup, we won our first game. We won our first game against Croatia in the Euros. So I think that
I'm gonna have to have a check on that. Yeah. What did you?
Sterling scored, remember, to beat Croatia in Euros.
Yeah, you need a VAR check.
Pierce, what did you make of it?
Yeah, well, I agree with what George said, really. For first half hour, Jude and Saka were running the show, looked really sharp. And then, yeah, like you said, same old, go one up. And instead of going for the jugular, we kind of go into ourselves a little bit, which I think is weird considering how long this group's been together. And this is the most mature and experienced squad Southgate's picked for a tournament before. There's a lot of senior guys that have played a lot of, got a lot of caps for England. Some of the other teams, I watched Germany earlier. That's a relatively newish group. I know there's some legacy players in there, but they got a new coach, and they just look so well drilled. Everyone's playing in the right position. Same with France. I thought, you've got Real Madrid midfielders sitting on the bench, and what he's done is he's just made sure that there's players playing in their right position. He hasn't tried to crowbar those superstars in. He's kept the balance of the table. And it just
I thought France looked a little bit. Right, I guess we'll talk about that later. But I thought I wasn't impressed by France at all.
I just think with watching some of these other games, and there's teams out there that I think, God, you're nobodies really. With all due respect to, like, I don't know, Austria, like some of these teams, I think you'd give us some problems. And this group's been together. Southgate's been with us for however many years. Was it 6, 7 years? And we still look a little bit naive, a little bit shaky. Like I say, we look like we just took over. But this should be a well-oiled machine by now, and it just doesn't look like it. Might be being a bit too negative because, like you say, 3 points, win the first game. That's all you can do, really. But yeah, I thought Serbia were, we're causing us a few issues, and it was a bit like hanging on towards the end, which you don't really want to.
Billy, your thoughts?
Trying not to repeat what the guys have said. First half an hour, we look good movement. Like they said, take the foot off the pedal. But what I think it did show, although I don't think we ever looked in too much trouble, is what I will say. That's what I will take from it. Also, the Guehi, the centre off, I thought he played well considering, first game tournament. For me, Bellingham's Bellingham. The Mystic George predicted him to be the flop of the tournament. Let's just drop that in. But I thought Saka.
So here's my backup. Ronaldo is my number one.
Saka was good. Was he good because that's the only option we really had on the left?
Saka was all right. He wasn't. He was good for the first 20 minutes, and then he did nothing.
I don't think he's fully fit. That's why he got pulled.
But also,
why is Bowen carrying on as well?
Like with the rest of the team.
Bowen's good.
Yeah, but you've got Cole Palmer on the bench. I mean,
surely. No, Alan, you're 1-0. Why not get on Cole Palmer?
What I will say,
it's crying out for a player like Cole Palmer.
Hang on, before you carry on, what I will say is the most important. To me, it showed who's really important is Rice. Like he didn't do anything flash, but he just kept it simple, got rid of the ball, did all the simple stuff, and he played it perfectly. I think, my personal opinion, I know Bellingham's going to get his plaudits and all that, but I thought Rice was brilliant.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
He was dropping deep. He was dropping when he needs to drop, just pushing that 10 yards forward. And his calmness on the ball, I genuinely think he's the only one that we've got. Where when the panic's on, he just seems to have this calm aura around him, which is good. And what
about Gahey's first major game?
Oh, I thought he was great.
Signing. I thought the defence were good in general. I thought Stones and Gray looked solid together. Trippier looked decent. It's just going forwards. They just is where they seem to lack. I think obviously Trippier is a more offensive fullback, but on his left side he can't really do it as much, which is fair enough.
In every time, right?
Yeah, he has to cut in every time. And Southgate's kind of created a rod for his own back by not bringing any sort of recognised left back other than Shaw. Just bring Mitchell or Chilwell. Like, I know they're maybe not as good players, but give yourself that option. He now is dependent on Shaw coming back, and he's not even in training yet.
No, he's training
right
today.
Is he in training first day today? Yeah.
Well, no, he's training on his own away from the group.
No, so he's not going to play tomorrow, is it?
Nah, it's probably not.
Every position should have a natural backup. That's what I think. That should be 22 players right there, backup, and then with the other 4 players, you have what you want to sprinkle on top.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like I said before, with some of these other teams I've watched, they're not playing people out of position. Southgate started players totally out of position, and it showed. Like Foden didn't look good out there. Trent didn't look good in midfield. He struggles with what's behind him when he's playing at right back, let alone in the centre of midfield.
Yeah.
And then you got Trippier playing at left back. He's crowbarred them in. Like you say, rod for his own back.
Classic Southgate. It's classic. He does it all the time.
They've dropped players to make sure the right players are in their right positions, and they look. It looks more fluid. They're better drilled. Spain similar. Portugal.
In the end, he's bought a squad that has one recognised left winger in Gordon. He's left Rashford at home. He's bought probably 4 cams in Foden, Bellingham, Palmer, Eze. Look, I get you've got to pick your best players as well, but also you've got to think about the positions and where people are going to play and who's going to play best together. And I think he needs to get that balance right, because we've got players to play fantastic. We've got players that could play fantastic football, and you look at some of the teams like Turkey and whatnot who are playing good football, and Germany as well. I probably
want to come on to them teams in a bit, but also just want to talk about England's big game later on this evening. So I just want to find out what your thoughts are on that, what team should be, what you think, predictions on scores as well, please. George?
Well, for England tomorrow, I think we should get a result again. I think I'd tinker with the team slightly. I'd probably end up going same back 4 unless Shaw is miraculously fit. I'd bring Wharton in for Trent. I'd play Cole Palmer. I just would like to see him. And I also think that Saka could do a job on the left wing better than Foden would. So I'd even be tempted to either play Foden or Palmer right wing, Saka left. Just try it. I know Saka always plays on the right, but he's going to be better on the left because he's more dynamic than Foden will be, I think. Bellingham behind Kane up top. But I think we'll have enough. I don't think we're gonna smash them. I mean, Denmark are a fairly solid team, but I reckon a 2-1 win, maybe 3-1. I'd love a 3-1 because it shows that we've gone out and gone for that extra goal.
We always struggle against Scandinavian teams, don't we? Like,
Yeah,
always. They're just well drilled. I mean, I'd tend to agree, except for you forcing your love buddy in.
Crowbarring him in, isn't it?
he's got to play. He has to play. That game is crying out for a play like him.
You know when he gets married, we're gonna have a Ross thing when he says the wrong name. I take the call. Oh no. I think Saka did well enough to retain his place. If anything, I'd
play Saka. I'd still play Saka.
I don't know if that's tingling a bit too much. Then going right, Saka.
Yeah.
I know you're our best option on the right. We're going to shift
I
you.
don't think he is the best option. I think Palmer's a better player still.
Yeah, but George is just trying to fit Palmer in, right? That's the fundamental thing.
Yeah.
He would do anything to fit him in.
Why not try playing Foden there on the right, or Palmer there on the right, and Saka on the left?
Because I don't think the right was our problem. Saka was arguably one of the best players on the pitch for the first hour. I think our problems.
I agree. And this is
it's about fixing the team, not just.
I know what you mean, but I think if you take your Cole Palmer tinted glasses off, I think there's other adjustments we could make without ripping it all up and starting again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Trent.
You could play Gordon there, but are you going to drop Foden?
The only change I'd probably make is bringing Trent out of midfield. That'd be the one for me. I know.
It's my turn.
Foden had a quiet game.
Replace him with who?
You forget Foden has those games. I know he catches headlines for City because every now and then he pops up with a hat trick against a relegation battle. Yeah, well there you go. But he does have quiet games as well. I think people forget.
Yeah, he's been anonymous for England every time he's played, pretty much.
I mean, to be honest, I hate to say it, but I think Southgate will probably stick with the same 11. I don't think he should, but I think he will.
Yeah, it's Southgate.
I think he will. Of course, I genuinely would drop Trent for either Wharton or Mainu. Get that running in. Those guys can defend and look back as well. Either of them. I know I'm throwing Mainu in, but I like that kid, not as much as George likes Palmer, but
I like Mainu as well.
But make that change. And I would be tempted after that first game. I know we have a habit of just playing our good players, but I thought Foden was a liability. He wasn't just bad; he was a liability. He did nothing. You might as well have played with 10 men. I would actually bring him on at half time. Start with somebody who's earned it.
But he's in the wrong position.
He is in the wrong position.
Yeah, but we are where we are.
Every player's going to have an off day.
Yeah, and this is tournament football. You don't get to have off days. You have an off day, we get knocked out. Yeah, we're in the league thing now.
Who do you play
there?
If
he has an off day, Gordon. We're going to say, oh, it's fine, he had an off day. He's in the wrong position. No, he's picked the squad. He's now got to deal with it. If he has an off day, these good players need to know that if you're crap, you will get chopped. The problem is
if it was up to me, I would drop Bellingham back a little bit, have him alongside Rice as the 8, and then have Foden in front of him in the hole, Saka out on one side, Gordon out on the other, Kane up top, and then you've got everyone playing in their position. Like should be. There's some good balance to it, but it's not going to happen, is it? We know that.
And it's also.
I want to throw in another question there. Kane, did you rate him?
I thought he was good.
It's fine. I don't think it was good, but I think it's Kane that he was good.
When the ball went to him, it stuck to him. If you look at my
he had 2 touches in the first half. It didn't go to him that much.
Yeah, but if you look at my flop of the tournament, Lukaku, his second touch is a tackle, right? Second touch is a tackle. Kane, the ball sticks to him. So we do need him up there for that outlet. So whether we like it or not, he's our outlet. So we've got to have him in.
Because I saw a lot of people saying he should have come off. But then I like the counter argument is if we conceded and it went 1-1, who would you want on the pitch to score us the goal to get it 2-1? Harry Kane.
Cole Palmer.
or Cole Palmer. But no, you can't drop Kane ever. Like, he has to play, and unless we're ahead,
Has
then
to
you
play and
rest
not,
him.
and what you're saying, it has to play and not get subbed.
Unless we're clear ahead, and then sub him off to rest him.
Yeah, if you're winning.
So
three-nil.
at no point, I mean, like when do you look at someone like Ivan Toney? Is he just to run down the clock, or is he
He's for penalties?
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
I reckon so.
All right, well, I'm just wondering because I'm like, is he thinking? Surely you bring other strikers as plan Bs to go, right, we need the goal. Who can give us who can potentially get us a goal? I mean, do you chuck him on with Kane if we were desperate?
Yeah, that would be. But Southgate won't do that all tournament, by the way, unless we're down in the last 5 minutes about to go out. Then he might go to him. But he would never go anywhere near that otherwise.
Yeah.
I'd play Kane at 10.
Yeah.
Put Tony on.
Would you if
that's like the definition of shoehorning players in.
George, if it's 1-1, George, if it's 1-1 and we get a penalty and Cole Palmer and Kane are on the pitch, who would you like to take the penalty?
It's got to be Kane. It's Kane's penalty taker. Yeah, Kane's penalty.
Hang on. Sorry, it's Cole Palmer's mum.
But Kane is number one penalty taker, right? You're not going to have the whole.
No, I know. I was just saying. I
wanted
to test George's delusion. I just wanted to.
But you're not going to have.
Thing is,
let me tell you what. You're not going to have the Chelsea penalty fiasco at England.
I mean, if Kane's not on, it's Palmer who's the penalty taker, obviously. Yeah. But look, my whole thing is, how can you just not give Palmer minutes in that game? And he's brought on Bowen. I know Bowen did all right, but Cole Palmer was maybe like second best player in the league. He was like up there for like best player of the league, and he brought on Jarrod Bowen, who's like West Ham's third best player. It's just classic fucking Southgate, just going light for light. I can't slightly change it. The game needed changing. It needed somebody that's going to come on, get on the ball, and play it. And both Bowen and Saka aren't those players. They're players that like to be a bit more direct. Get somebody that's going to get on the ball and do something.
Especially after the season Cole Palmer's had, right? In total,
yeah, exactly.
33 goals and assists.
I'll tell you who that game was actually calling out for was Jack Grealish. Second half.
Right, he's like a not as good version of Cole Palmer, isn't he?
No, but come on. You know what? Do you know what I mean?
You wanted the left winger, didn't you? We didn't have it.
The ball will stick to him. He'll draw fouls high up the pitch. Like he can relieve a bit of pressure. But obviously, you didn't take him.
I'm gonna move on from here.
All right.
And talk about round one games are finished, right? Any takes from it? Any teams that you think look pretty decent? Obviously, talk about any good key players from individual teams, youngsters coming through.
Oh, this is the youngsters tournament so far, and it's actually great to see the next generation. Musiala looking amazing.
He's unreal. So good.
And he's got no fear as well. And the other thing is, when he gets knocked down, there's no rolling about with him. He just gets up, right? You got Yamal, who, honestly, this kid could be
more. Ridiculous. 16.
16.
Actually, my daughter's older than him. And the other guy,
Screamer. Fantastic performance.
The Real Madrid kid, that?
Yeah, that's the one that I said start of the tournament. He's going to be my breakout star.
Yeah. I mean, he was good. But the refreshing thing for me is all the. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the mediocre teams, they're all having a go. So we're getting much better games. They're sort of believing in themselves. Albania, outsiders, they're having the only team that didn't have a go was Scotland, right?
Yeah.
But every other team is having a go. I mean, Romania were, meant to get battered by Ukraine. Romania, I mean, they scored 2 world.
I mean, Hungary could have beaten Germany just now. They had so many chances that they missed. Another day they could have won that. And I think one thing that we're seeing, football these days is so tactical. It's like incredibly tactical. I mean, you've got Pep, Arteta, all these managers that are just hyper focused on tactics. Nagelsmann's one at Germany. You can kind of see it with them a little bit. But because international teams don't spend the time together, you don't have that. So the games are just so much
You
more
don't have
open,
that
so
drilling
much
in,
free
right?
flowing.
You don't have
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Unless you get a team that's just going to sit in with, a solid 5 and a 4 in front, we're going to see this free flowing football because teams need to win, and it's not hyper
You're not
tactical.
playing for a point first couple of games.
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, exactly. It's just not
And we're
hyper
seeing a lot
tactical
more.
at all.
We're seeing a lot more creativity and skills from the players, right? Rather than the drilling. Maybe it's a Premier League thing, but rather than not trying
Teams
anything,
teams play percentages.
It's going back to what George said last time. There's no real, other than Scotland getting spanked, no real team has actually been destroyed, right?
Even Georgia had a go, and I think they're the lowest ranked team.
Yeah,
Georgia looked decent. They looked all right.
Had a go, didn't they?
Yeah. I thought with a couple of other players they might surprise somebody. Albania. I mean, and the other thing is, I don't know if you guys feel the same, but the fans' noise is really coming through. Like the atmospheres seem amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah. The Scotland game will be fucking off the walls tonight. It'll be the atmosphere will be quality in that as well.
Yeah. It's been a good tournament so far. I've really enjoyed all the games. And I think it was online, like I don't think I can watch I don't think I'm into football enough to watch Romania Ukraine. It's incredible.
What a game.
It was. And the Germany Hungary game was like a Rocky fight in the end. They're just doing it all like
Albania. So was Albania game.
Albania.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
It's just been having a real go, and it's great to see. We get used to teams are defeated before they start the game, and they're happy to take a draw. It looks like nobody, even the weaker teams, used the first game as a free shot. Right, let's just go for it.
And Portugal were in trouble, weren't they?
Yeah. I've not been that impressed with any of the big teams really. Germany first game looked class, and then against Hungary conceded heapfuls of chances. France didn't look great against Austria. England didn't look great. Portugal didn't look great.
I thought France. Do you know what? That like in transition, when they pick the ball up, they break so quickly, and it's one touch, and you've got Hernandez picking up the ball, laying it off, someone getting Mbappe away. I know he's now going to be injured for a couple of games because he busted his nose.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean. France didn't wow me, but I looked at them and I thought, do you know what? I would not want to play against them because they break so quickly, and they've got some.
And they're solid. Yeah.
And they look like they've got something in the tank as well, right?
They would be a problem.
They can go up again.
A problem.
Yeah.
Probably. Pierce, you obviously you weren't here, but I'm putting you on the spot here. Your flop team.
It's easy to say now. We're a game in Belgium. They look like they look like they don't like each other or something. I don't know. I don't know. Right. They don't look right, and they've got some quality up there as well. They've got some real quality players that play together at club level. You got Doku, De Bruyne, Trossard, Lukaku. You got some quality.
Did anyone think they were going to do well? I never thought they were going to do well, to be honest. After their blow up
I feel like every tournament, one pundit will come out and go Belgium. They're my dark horses. But yeah, they've never lived up to it. It's almost it's almost a bit like England. They had their golden generation, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't live up to it.
They're too old.
Your dark horses.
I know I put it in the group chat a couple of times. I fancy Portugal. I know they weren't amazing the other day, but I think they've got so much quality.
And what about that?
Their squad on paper.
They've got proper serial winners in the team, and there's a lot of balance there. They've got cover everywhere.
And what a story for that kid.
Not really dark horse.
That Conceição coming off, the kid comes on, scores.
Yeah.
Wow, brilliant! And his celebration, I don't think he got booked for taking his off either.
He did.
He did.
Yeah. If he didn't, I would have gone there and booked him because I booked too.
I think Ronaldo gets bad press, doesn't he, as being a bit of an arrogant cunt.
Do you know what? And I'm probably going to ask this question. He's 39 years old.
Just going to grab my charger.
Does he need to start?
No.
Yeah, I think he's still got it. You can see he's still sharp. Yeah, he's still got it, definitely. Over 5 yards, he's always looking, he's always moving. He's a nightmare. He's he's got a leap on him. If you're, yeah, I'd start him 100%.
George?
I think they become a little bit
the other
Ronaldo.
option.
I think they become a little bit Ronaldo obsessed. I think they've got such good players. They could play such free flowing football, and they become a little bit obsessed about getting the ball to Ronaldo to score that goal. I think they look better in the last tournament when they dropped him in the end. And I personally don't think that he is the player that he is anymore. I know he can still be fantastic, but I would drop him, I think, to be honest. I think I would.
On that note, thank you very much, guys.